And I'm sitting here getting ready to record this. Yeah, it takes a skill set to just set up this mic, setting up the lights, and getting some stuff ready. It's a lot. There are some skills there. I digress. The title of this journey is called I Have Nothing. First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody that looked at my previous post about my acceptance to the presenting for the Esports Research Network in London that I'll be hopefully doing in October. Got so many people viewing that. That's really exciting. And I'm going to get to why I'm saying that real quick, because I didn't think people were watching me as much, but I see that you guys are watching everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm sharing, and I really do appreciate that. As I was getting ready to approach my learning coach for this TED conference, technically I did not have anything to share yet. And I was like, I don't have anything to type about. I don't have anything to talk about yet. The abstract is there. I have something in the back of my brain, but it's still cloudy. I have had a chance to meet with my coach for my TED talk that I'll be doing in the fall. But I will tell you, there was a week where I had a pretty rough week. There was a lot of stuff going on, and I just wasn't my best self, and I felt really angry. Sometimes a lot of that anger goes through journaling, through writing. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to type it out. And I was like, oh my God, I hope this doesn't sound so upset. It doesn't tick people off. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you don't want this talk to be angry. And everybody, it's not. It is coming from a place of experience, but it's something that I have felt for quite a long time. And I felt like I just needed to get the word out. Sometimes I know for some people, writing helps getting things out. For some people, typing it out is best. I'm a mixture of both, but I just started typing, and I didn't worry too much about grammar, even though I have the Grammarly out there and I had to stop and fix grammar and all that kind of stuff. I just let it naturally flow. I was listening to my coach's video, and I was looking at the transcript of what we had talked about, and I just listened. And those are things that I recommend whenever you have your meetings or whenever you're having your talks with people. See if you can record it. See if you can get it transcribed, and go back into your ChatGPTs or whatever AI tools you use and see if you could put that back in and see if you can ask it questions. I mean, of course, ask the people who are in those meetings if it's okay, but there's something powerful when, yes, you're letting that part of tech just do its job and you're focusing on the conversation. And that is something that I've always talked about. If I'm going to use the tech, I'm going to use that tech as my partner, so that way I'm not having my head down writing. I'm not looking to the left. I'm not looking to the right. I'm looking directly at you, and I'm listening with my eyes, and I'm also listening with my ears, and I'm focused, and I forget about what's going on. And that's why I'm really big on having everything recorded. And on a side note, I always ask if it is okay, and it doesn't go out to anybody unless I have your permission. But it's something that I always do as a reflection. As I was listening to what I was saying in my previous conversations with my coach, there were some things like we talked about before that was just triggering, and I mean triggering in a good way. And I just wrote, and I was just typing. And there were some things that I had jumped ahead, and then all of a sudden my past self in that video had said something, and I'm like, I just now talked about that. It really stuck. I'm like, oh, this is how I can tie this in. This is how I can talk about XYZ. Before I knew it, I had a page and a half single space. And remember when I told you that in the last video where I felt that I was nervous that I was not going to memorize any of this? Well, that nerve is still there, but as I was typing it and as I was reading it, it really did feel like me, and I kept reading it over and over again, errors and all. I was like, yeah, this is comfortable. I can do this. I can break it down and figure out what it was. I was excited. I'm like, I don't know what my coach is going to think about this. I read it out loud to him for the first time. I've read it to myself before where I can get my timing and all that whatnot. I did it cold and I'm like, okay, this is okay. But reading it to him, he was very silent, and I'm saying silent in a good way because he felt very excited. Now, there's some stuff, of course, that I do need to clean up as I'm staring at. I'm literally staring at the talk that I'm writing right now. And again, I'm not going to give it away quite yet. There's a lot of stuff that just I didn't know that was, again, hidden, especially from that crazy week that I had, that bad week that I had, that I just wanted to resurface and talk about really stuff about me, so to speak. It was very impactful, and the way that he was coaching me and saying, here's where you want to talk about this part here, or here's where you want to talk about this part here, or here's where you want to start revealing stuff here. I never thought about it in that context before. Here's where you can add more detail here because we want to you're taking people on this journey here, and you want to get to this part of the space here. No matter, I think, what the topic is we're taking you on a journey. We're not necessarily trying to convince you to go our way, and to we're not necessarily trying to get you to take the red pill or the blue pill from the Matrix or whatever, but we're trying to get you to understand a point of view and maybe have some type of call of action when you walk away from the talk, whatever your call of action may be, or whenever you want to sit down with someone and have that critical conversation with your group, or with people like me, or with people who host their talk or whatever. It's important to say, okay, well, now that I've come from this talk, what are some things that I can take from that talk that I can take to my group? And so those are the things that are in the back of my head as I'm writing and as I'm developing this talk. And my next step is looking at the breaking down process of how I'm going to explain certain things. And my coach is really good about really just letting me form my narrative and really going back and let's explain what your title means. You've already started off with something great, but let's refer back to what the title of your presentation is and explain why it is what it is, if that makes sense. And you'll understand when you hear my talk about why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. It will make sense. One of the things that I've started to do when I'm thinking that I literally don't have anything to talk about, when I say I have nothing, is I've started to just walk around, and when things suddenly pop into my head, I have to find a place where I'm writing it down, no matter if it's on a post-it note or if I'm just talking out loud. I'll be walking around the house and something will just automatically just pop in my head. I just have to keep talking it out. And then the one thing that I will do is I will grab my phone. I will just put it into my voice memo and just say a message just so I could have it in there. And it may not make sense to me now, but it's being put somewhere where I can go back and review it to reflect on later. And I didn't notice that was something that I needed to do in order to get my ideas out. So I'm learning these new processes and I'm learning these new techniques on what it means to develop just a talk like this. And it's been really amazing. One of the things that I know that I have done with my tech, we're always talking about, our tools and our emerging tools and our AI and whatnot, is I've been taking the transcripts, I've been taking what I've said, and I have put it into the GPTs and all that kind of stuff. And it's amazing on how it's broken down on the certain themes of how I want to talk, of what I want to talk about. And I've put it in a certain prompt. Now I haven't said, develop a TED talk for me. I haven't done anything like that. I'm not doing anything like that because I feel very obviously natural of saying what I need to say. But when the stuff that I've already put in, it's amazing how it's broken it down and saying, here's a section where it's going to talk about this. Here's a section where it talks about this. And I see how that's going to help me really memorize what I want to say and how I can really organize. That is how your tech tools are supposed to work. They're supposed to partner with you and not really do things for you. So I'm still a human being and my tech tool is still my partner, and we're working together in order for me to be successful on that stage, because I'm not gonna have a tech tool or an AI to help me do this talk. It's all about me and what I want to present to all of you. But in the meantime, my thought partner is another human being, my coach, who I'm learning virtually with. And then when that person's not there, it is me sharing ideas, putting my ideas on paper, putting my ideas in my voice memo on my phone, and then just putting it all into some type of digital space and then piecing that all together. That's kind of where this is all coming from. So now when I say I have nothing, actually I do have something. I have all of these thoughts that I'm putting into one place, that I'm now developing this new type of this personal framework in order to deliver a TED talk that I feel is meaningful to me and hopefully will be meaningful to all of you. I'm sharing all of the information with my TED Talk coach. We have a session where we're going to talk about our talks, I think in a few weeks, but everything needs to be done by the end of this month. And actually I feel okay. I feel okay with getting this in there. I'm not too nervous yet. I haven't memorized anything, but it's in the back of my head, if that makes sense. We both kind of agreed, well, let's meet in the cohort group. That will be our next meeting. But then let's talk about what it's like to really talk face to face. And so that's going to be probably our next step within this process, is the next new coach meeting will probably be something that's face to face, unless I really need him, and it'll be virtual. Again, when I say I have nothing, I really actually do now have something. I have a lot of things to talk about. I have a lot of things to share. When I thought I didn't have anything to give, it just really poured out from things that I've known before, if that makes sense. I'm trying real hard not to give everything away. I've seen a lot of people watching what I do, and that, that imposter syndrome really does kick in. But what I'm really seeing is my work coming into fruition. Everything that I have been doing in the past, not necessarily in secret, but I've just been putting my nose to the grindstone, so to speak. You guys are going to see a lot of it coming up if you haven't seen it already. So I am really excited to start sharing my knowledge, whether it be in the esports space, in the instructional design space, in the professional development space, in the tech space, whatever. So keep tuning in. I'm hopefully going to share some more stories with you, and I will talk to you guys later.